Welcome to Dolly Talk. How is everybody doing today? Yes, Suffa Mads. Hey, Paul, how are you? We have a final day of the lovely Olivia Clendenin trial. She is responsible for an attempted murder on New Year's Eve. Not very festive of her. Today we are going to be doing her police interview. We don't have video, but we do have audio of it. It's pretty good. No turtleneck today. Hey, Johnny and Seti. So I've got it set up. Once we get through the interrogation, then we can skip through to closing and the verdict.
Yeah, make a double copy.
Copies.
Yeah.
But those would be the first ones that were on. I'm excited. It's scary.
She bored? Well, I will say, I'm not going to say what the verdict is. No spoilers. I will say that there was a little bit of an issue in making sure she arrived on time for the verdict. They had a difficult time getting a hold of her, and they eventually calmed down when they checked her GPS tracker and saw she was on her way to the courthouse. So she did get there eventually, but her lawyer was not happy. I'm curious if she was a hot mess, angry, there, or what. Oh, you'll see.
So right now you have the right to remain silent, okay? Anything that you say can will be used against you in a court of law, okay? You have the right to talk to the lawyer, have a present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand your rights? Okay. You can circle that, put initial there, sign the date. Okay. Let me ask you first of all, do you know why you're here? You don't have a clue.
I mean, I was in an accident and they did blood work and I got an OBI at the hospital.
Okay, but beyond that, you have no clue.
No.
Okay.
And just beyond just the brackets.
Okay. Was anybody in the car with you?
No.
Nobody was in the car?
No.
What happened when you got out of the car?
The neighbor that I brought into like the house,
Okay.
or not in the house, but near the house, she had got out, made sure I was okay. She called my mom, said, call my mom, she was calling the cops, and then the cops showed up, and then the ambulance showed up, and then that was it at that scene.
Okay. Do you know who Corey and Zach?
I knew
How do you know them?
Zach Howard,
Mm-hmm.
that's my husband. And Corey is my ex-boyfriend.
Spell your first name for me.
Olivia, and then the last name Clennen.
Clennen. E-N-D-E-N.
DENIN.
What's your date of birth?
August 2nd, 1996. 8296, sorry.
What's the cell phone for you?
513-594-9095.
Ooh.
Okay. Corey is your ex-boyfriend? How long have you been seeing him?
Sure hope she's acquitted, chat. Then I can give her a call.
Met him back in summer of 2022,
Okay. When was the last time you saw him?
yesterday morning.
Where'd you see him at?
I was getting gone.
From where?
Me and him were gonna go see Christmas lights in Middletown.
Okay. When was the last time you saw your husband?
Last night at around maybe 7, 8 p.m. He came by my house, my parents' home. We're legally married, but we're separated
Hmm.
Where's your parents live?
in Franklin on Beale Road,
What's the address?
4480 BEAL Road.
Okay. So you was with Corey yesterday
Morning, yes.
morning.
Mhm.
What time did you go to the Christmas lights?
Well, we were gonna go right at 6,
Okay.
and so we got the evening of the day, but we got in a huge fight,
Okay.
really bad fight, so I took it home.
This was last night.
Mhm.
Did you drive or he drive?
He drove,
Okay.
he was driving,
What did you fight over?
his friends. His friend,
Specifically,
his name is Zach Brown and Zach Cox. Those are the guys we were fighting over,
why were you fighting over them?
because they don't like me and they don't want me involved with him because we have issues, we fight a lot, we don't get along a lot, me and Corey. So they're gonna do what it takes to try to split us up. So they called me and said that I was, going to dinner with my husband over the weekend.
Oh,
Did
your
you go to
husband.
that
Huh?
one?
I did, yes, but me and Corey have been split up for 3 weeks, but we were trying to work things out, trying to see if we could make it work. And, me be with him, get divorced with Zach, and we were together one day and it didn't even go well.
Okay. Were them two friends?
No,
When did they become friends?
yesterday, because
What happened?
of the Zach Brown and Zach Cox, they all kind of just started like bullying me, manipulating me, treating me bad, and then they wanted to be friends and then go out, party, and harass me, send me pictures of them out partying, telling me they were doing cocaine and all kinds of crazy stuff, and I just couldn't take it, so I said, then you guys need to both block my number.
That pissed you off?
Boy, that really pissed her off, huh? Boy, those two found a way to really get under her skin. Just become friends with each other. Stop talking to her.
It upset me, it hurt my feelings, like they were hanging out.
It hurts your feelings. Bitch, you were cheating on your husband and your boyfriend. Like, how are you this delusional? How are you this incapable of situational awareness, of looking at a situation, at self-reflection? My God, woman. And I may have just used that rant for the last girl I dated, but I digress.
Back and forth, what are you guys doing?
Not much, they just kind of, picking at me, like, oh, we're doing this now, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay. I was with my family, like, I was like, okay. I'm like, just block my number, because I don't want to hear about it, I don't care, have fun. Like, I tell them both, have fun. I said, you both hate each other, maybe you guys can be good friends, good job, like, move on, leave me alone. I kept telling them both, leave me alone. And then, after I was with my family, my brother and his girlfriend, I went to my husband's mother, my mother-in-law.
Okay.
And
How long was you there?
from probably like, I'm not sure exactly what time I got there, maybe around 12 or 1. And I was there till like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Me and her were together. I was just talking to her, trying to explain to her, like, I don't have nobody, like, I don't know who else to turn to. My friends hate me because of the men I choose. And I'm like,
My friends hate me because of the men I choose. I think it's the plural in that sentence that's the problem, sweetie.
the men I choose, and we're not getting along. So, like, I have nobody. So,
We're not getting along. As in all three of you?
to her house to talk to her, and she was there for me and comforting me, and we just
Where's she live?
Carlisle.
Okay. Where was you coming from when you crashed the car?
Yes, CJ. And yeah, she's going to her mother-in-law, the mother of her husband, to vent that the guys in her life are mad at her. Her boyfriend's mad at her.
Around the circle of dearth. So 123, because I knew my husband was hanging out with my ex-boyfriend
Where at?
Your boyfriend,
at my ex-boyfriend's house in Springboro.
ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
Off of 123 and Widener 741. And I literally just left my mother-in-law's home, and
Where's Corey live?
it was Springboro.
Is that the house you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
And okay, so this is his house. He has like a house like on his road right here.
Okay.
And there's a road that cuts like this.
Okay.
And I just wanted to drive by the top of the hill just to see if my husband was still there before I went home.
Don't admit you were there, sweetie, princess, honey toots. No.
I didn't see his car, kept on going, and I tried to call him. He wasn't answering, and I kept telling him, please call me, please talk to me. He would not talk to me, and I was just in a rage. I was ready to get home, and that's why I ran into that guardrail.
What was you rage about?
He won't talk to me. My husband.
Did you call him when you got in the crash?
Yeah, I did, because I tried to call him beforehand multiple times. He wouldn't answer, but then he picks up after, and I'm like, I just wrecked my car because of you. Where are you at?
But you just,
Mads. I'm seeing my future wife disappear this interview. Well, maybe I can still put a ring on her finger in 20 to 30 years. I love that. You made me wreck my car. Holy shit. Has this girl ever had any single thing in her life happen that has been her fault? Not only is it incriminating, it's like the perfect buzzwords for a prosecutor to use against someone in closing. You're just making his job so easy. But she didn't want to take a plea deal that included any jail time, so.
you knew where he was at, you saw his car, right?
Yeah, no, his car wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of drove by it, just to see if he was still there, being with him, whatever, and he wasn't. I was like, whatever. And I kept trying to call him, see where he was, he wouldn't answer. We're at the car, my mother's car, and then I called him again, he finally picks up, and I'm like, where are you?
Where did he say he was at?
And he didn't answer me, and I'm like, Zach, I just got a wreck, like, I could be hurt. And he didn't care. I was like, whatever, just hung up on him.
So you were in a rage,
Mhm.
pretty pissed off.
Yeah, because my ex-boyfriend and my husband
So pissed at both of them.
were separated or together hanging out, bullying me, but they hate each other.
Well, they don't seem to hate each other anymore, sweetie. They're kind of bonding over hating you and bullying me. I've just been cheating on each of them for years. Why are they bullying me?
It wasn't fair to me, and I tried to tell them both that.
It wasn't fair to me. You turned your husband into a cuckold Connor. My God.
Leave me alone. And neither one would do that.
So when you left your mother-in-law's house, how long did it take you to get back over there?
Oh, it was probably 7-8 minute drive. It's not very far. I went up 123 down the long side of Durf, cut through, because here's his house on this road. You just kind of drive by the top of the hill, you kind of glance over, see kind of cars parked in the driveway. I didn't see no black Kia, so I just kept on going through McLean, and then I wrecked on the end of McLean. Because I was just so mad. I'm like, he's not there, he's not answering, where's he at? Like, I was so confused. I had a little bit to drink. I just wanted to talk to my
Bitch, you just admitted to a DUI.
husband.
How much did you have to drink?
I had a couple of shots of whiskey.
Just two?
Probably 3.
So what-
Don't let the cop talk you up on how much you drunk either, sweetie.
I had and I let them take like blood tests from me in hospital and all that, and I agreed to do that and whatnot. I didn't care at all. I wanted to be with him.
Zero fear of accountability.
He didn't want to be with me. I'm sorry. It really upsets me. He knows I love him, and he knows the stuff I'm
Wait,
getting
just
through.
recording? Or
Yeah, but I have to get rid of Corey. There's a whole there. Corey has his own house right now. Me and Zach are married, separated. We both live with our parents. Corey was keeping my dog.
okay.
But we split up, so I took my dog out of the equation, so we didn't have ties up to me like anymore. It was no more ties.
So you tell me you're pretty pissed at both of them
Yeah, and
last night.
more
When you
Zach.
left the house.
More Zach, yes, because I wanted to be with him. I wanted to see him. He was still looking at. I drove by Corey's house. His car was down the driveway. So I'm like, "Where's he at?" That's when I started really like getting pissed. Like, oh my God, like, I just need to get home. Like, I'm so mad right now because I was going to start calling my husband off my mother's phone. So I was trying to get home. I'm like, I'm going to call from my mom's phone. I know don't answer that phone call. And then someone answered, read, called in, find the answer. And I was like, okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Did you ever pass that house?
Which one? The 40s?
Yeah.
Just on top of the hill, off where Durf meets McLean. It's like this, and then the house is like this on a hill. I drove right. I was looking over for that black Kia. Didn't see a black Kia. It's like whatever. That's all I want to see is that black Kia. It wasn't there.
Okay. You ever fired a gun?
At like gun shows, I've fired them, but not like for fun or
Do you
whatever.
have one? Do you own one?
No, I sure don't. I do not.
There would be no reason one would be in your car.
No, I do not have a gun in my car.
Okay.
I don't. I've never had a gun in one of my vehicles at all, ever.
Yeah, see, I'm not believing what you're telling me. This whole story.
What do you mean?
There was someone shot tonight.
Like Zach or Corey?
No, not Zach or Corey.
Don't mention the guys you were trying to shoot at.
And there was a gun found outside of your car with a magazine and rounds at the crash. Either you're lying to me or you know somebody was with you that did something stupid. And you're going to be just as guilty if that's true if you don't tell us what really happened that night. I know you're lying to me. And I know you know what happened. All the pieces fit. Right?
Right.
You know somebody got shot, didn't you?
I did not know someone actually got shot.
Then tell me what happened.
Okay.
And I don't want no more lying,
I was with my mother-in-law,
okay?
and we were hanging out. Like I said,
You're
my
whiskey,
husband.
you were rape,
I was actually drinking. Yes, I was drinking whiskey. She was drinking like orange juice or whatever. And when I tried to go to Corey's house to get Zachary, my husband, I got in a huge fight, absolutely huge fight, and
with who?
with Corey,
Okay,
because he condoned all of that. I said, you're playing with him. You're not trying to be his friend, whatever. You're just trying to cause all this drama. and whatnot. So he blamed his friends. He said he was with Jared Pennycamp, he was by Jay,
Okay.
and Daniel, a guy named Daniel.
Okay.
Connor says another funny thing about the case is that Corey's daughter, who probably isn't older than 10, commented on a Facebook post of her mugshot after being arrested on 1/1/2025. My dad was her boyfriend. Ah. Oh, I love Ohio.
And I'm
So
like,
see, now you
you
start telling
guys
the truth,
are,
right?
yes, correct. So,
See,
yes,
okay, we're gonna
yeah,
stay on the truth line, right?
correct. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Because it's not gonna be good if you don't tell me the truth.
Okay, no, I'm ready.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you the truth. I was a little tipsy, but I do know what happened, sir.
Okay, what happened?
So me and Corey got into it real bad. He was trying to have sex with me, his own type of sex with me, at his house when I went there to get my husband.
Oh, so you did stop.
So you went to get your husband when he was hanging out with your boyfriend, and your boyfriend tried to have sex with you while hubby was at the house. Huh? Unless there was a hot tub involved, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, this was earlier, yes. And he was like trying to touch me, and I'm like, no, stop, like, pull it
You
down.
were there partying for this
No,
time.
no, I did not stay there and party at all. I went there specifically to get my husband out of the car.
Okay.
Because I knew drugs were involved, and I'm like, no, stay away from that shit.
Okay.
And Corey started blaming his friends, Jared, Daniel. Like, they did this, they put me in these predicaments, blah, 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 blah. And then they started getting kind of a little rowdy, the men, and Corey gave me that gun. That gun was Corey. Papers.
For what?
To kind of scare him.
Okay, then what happened?
Well, when I started to leave, they was fucking talking shit, running after my mom's car, freaked me out, shot it.
You shot it.
Correct.
Who'd you shoot?
I shot at the house, literally, just the house. I did not know anybody had gotten hit.
Where was your car?
Nothing like that. From getting on the driveway of my mom's Jeep.
So it was parked in the driveway.
Yeah, because I had stopped there to try to get my husband and make him leave with me
How many times did you shoot?
twice.
Shot twice.
Yeah, because I don't really shoot guns. It's not my type of thing. I didn't know what I was doing, and I did not aim at anybody personally at all.
Okay.
And the gun was given to me by Corey. Corey said, "Here, just take this."
I don't care.
Scare
You
him off.
used a gun. You pulled the trigger, am I right?
Right.
To scare somebody.
Yeah, right.
You knew that.
Don't say it was to scare somebody. Somebody just sent me something interesting. At her mother's dance studio, apparently she's a teacher, and Coach Livy is still on the website. Look at that. We got 15 years. We got competition team director / gymnastics program director / studio manager, Coach Livy. Aw. 15 years certified in jazz, hip hop, hula, contemporary, lyrical acting, fitness, acrobatic arts, and gymnastics / tumbling. Wow, she was coach of the year in 2018, 2019, 2020. Missed it in 2021, but 2022, 23, and 24 swept the board. Boy, look at that. Okay, I hope she can continue her. Yeah, I don't see pole dancing in there. That's odd.
Shooting somebody.
That's horrible. I swear I didn't know that. I did not know anybody got shot.
But you know you shot towards the house.
Yep. Towards the garage area. His house is set up like this, front porch, garage, shot right towards that garage area. I did not know anybody that had gotten hit. I did not know that.
Daniel was shot
Daniel.
in the abdomen. He's on life support right now because you shot him. What would make you do that?
Rage and nervousness.
Don't say
Nerves,
rage.
just not thinking, being stupid, just everybody in my face, yelling at me, harassing me, bullying me, and just, I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. I should not have had that gun. I should not have went there. I should have left Corey and South alone. I cannot believe that someone actually got shot and is on fucking life support because of my fucking stupid actions. I can't honestly believe that. Did they say his like survival chance or anything for Daniel?
I don't know that yet. Did you know Daniel?
Not really, no.
So he's never did nothing to you.
Just that he was friends with men I knew and stuff,
That's
and
why he shot you. Right? Pissed off.
the wrong person. And Daniel is fucking paying for it because I'm a dumbass. Yeah. I mean,
Well, it's a good thing she didn't. Well, it's a shame actually. She didn't want to take a plea deal because that would have involved going to prison for some time.
I wasn't close friends with Daniel, but I know Daniel. We hung around him a couple times. He's got great love in high school. I knew of him. We weren't like close, but I know who Daniel is.
I gave him a handy when I was a junior.
I swear I did not know anybody was hit.
But you didn't even stop to check on anybody.
No,
You fired
You fired two, you did what?
2 shots and I just turned it off.
How fast were you driving to the way?
I honestly have no idea. 40, 50
Where was you gonna go?
home
Which is,
on Wheel Road. About 5-minute drive from Forest.
Okay.
From 123 to Wheel. That was my goal. I just wanted to get home, wanted to get out of the situation. They didn't antagonize me enough and
how did you get the gun again?
Corey. It was Corey's gun.
Okay, where did you get it from?
He gave it to me from his top drawer in his bedroom. He has a dresser right when you walk in. It was in the top middle drawer. There's 3 middle drawers, or 3 top drawers, and it's in the middle.
You in the bedroom when he handed it to you?
Correct.
What did he say to you?
He said, "Here, take this. Just scare him off." That's exactly what he said. Take this, just scare him off. And I was like,
He didn't say,
I was like,
hurt him, nothing like that, shoot at him, just scare him.
yeah, he just said, just scare him off. Just
He
scare
said
him
it's
off.
dangerous to go alone.
He
Take this.
didn't say anything.
So then you went outside with it in your hand.
And then they started running their mouth, bigger and bigger and bigger.
You were getting
Whatever. I was getting more rage was building up, and I was like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, fuck you, bitch, blah, blah, blah. And as I'm leaving, they're like, running after, like, fuck you, you're a dumb bitch, like all this stuff. And it was just like,
Were you walking away?
no, I was in my car leaving.
Okay.
And going. And I was just, maybe fucking whatever. And I was just like, leave me the fuck alone. And then drove off.
You was in the driveway.
Yeah, going into the road, up the hill. It's like a hill. I was going straight up that hill.
Like,
So anybody sitting on the porch?
Not that I seen.
Everybody seen it.
No, it was just Daniel, somebody I didn't even recognize, and my husband that I had saw outside. I don't know the guy that was there. I honestly never seen him before because Jared and Jordy,
Was your,
Jared and Greg were talking shit too, but they went back in the house. They went back in.
so as you're walking towards your car, you just turn around and go fire
No, I was in the vehicle.
in the driveway.
Yes, I was in the vehicle in the driveway as I was leaving. I did not do it outside of the car or anything like that.
Oh, passenger side or driver's side?
Driver.
2 shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I did not know anybody was hit at all.
Okay.
At all.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Which way was your car facing on the driveway?
Towards the farm.
Towards the barn?
Mhm.
And you shot at the drivers?
Because I went like this to get out of the driveway,
Okay.
shot at the garage area, up the hill left. Me on the
So you're in the process of backing up to,
Yep, I was just ready to skirt off and yep,
so you back out, you,
kind of like slide his driveway to dips, you kind of like angle it. I was already kind of in that, almost getting that angle, pull it out to that angle. My car was facing the hill, and that's what happened.
I just need for that clarification, thank you.
Where'd you put the gun after that when you drove off?
My mother-in-law had took it and just threw it in the floor.
Your mother-in-law was with you?
Yes.
Whoa.
So where was she in the crash?
No, she wasn't with me in the crash. She didn't know any part about what happened. She would have gotten out.
Where'd
She
she
would have gotten out. But the gun was still in the car. But when I crashed, I'm assuming the gun flew out the car. But it was still in the seat, like the floor seat of the passenger.
So did your mother-in-law ever get out and confront these?
No.
She stayed in the car.
Mhm.
Did she know you had a gun when you got in the car?
Yes. Because she knew where to get the gun, because I said, where's
What'd she say about that?
Nothing. She had anything to say. She was, then I said,
After you shot, what happened? What'd she say?
was freaking out. She was screaming, yelling, let me out, let her out.
Where'd she go?
I have no idea. Where'd you put her out? I have spoke to her since I've clean. That's all it is. You know, I'm not sure. I have not spoke to her since. So
What's her name?
Kim Coffee.
Is that Zach's mom? That's Zach's mom.
Correct.
Kim?
Kim. Yeah.
C-O-F-E-Y.
FFEY.
What's her cell phone?
937
937
823
823
3614.
What's her address?
I don't understand the house numbers, but I think it's 6901. And it's Casper Road Drive, Carlisle.
You live with her?
Yeah. I don't live with her, exactly, with her, yes, correct. Her and her fiance.
After she gets out of the car, you go to back up, you swing the car around, you fire 2 shots.
She dropped her off at the top of the.
Yeah, she drives up, she tells you, I want out of the car.
Yes.
She gets out.
And then I
She
started,
was not involved in that crash.
no, not one bit. The crash was me alone, 100%.
Okay. Why was the driver's side door open?
The driver.
And passenger.
Because I couldn't get to my phone. My phone had fell over on the passenger side, and I tried from the outside to open the passenger door. The door, it wouldn't open. So I get around the driver's side, open the passenger door, open that door just to get my phone, because it fell between the door and the seat. So I was trying to call my mom, because the neighbor had already said, I'm gonna call the cops, it's okay, sweetie, da 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 da. I'm like, thank you. I said, I'm just trying to find my phone, so I can call my mother.
Can you walk on that without those?
This, my right foot is the only thing that really bothers me. I can't put too much weight on it once I stand up.
Do you have anything else?
No, no.
Okay, well, right now you're gonna be placed under arrest. You understand that? You're gonna go to jail. Okay?
Do you want her to write a statement?
Will you write a statement?
Now, Detective Barton, you saw, and who's this, by the way, who's the other officer in this video with you?
That's my partner, Detective Wendy Blaha,
Spell the last name for us.
B-L-A-H-A.
Okay, thank you. Now you see there, there's a request to write a written statement of the defendant, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. And she actually wrote out a little bit of a statement, is that right?
correct.
Okay. And when she did that, as part of that, did she have to provide her date of birth, social security number, address, phone number, things of that nature?
Yes, it'd be on the top right of the document.
Okay. And have you seen that document this morning?
I have.
And the information, the social security number she provided, the date of birth she provided, the address of phone, and the address, excuse me. From other information you had through the investigation, did she give all the correct information when she wrote that down that day?
She did.
Okay. And did she ever appear, I mean, we've seen her through the video give her address, her mother-in-law's address, phone numbers, date of birth, all this information. Did you ever appear to have any problem providing you with that information?
No.
Now, we've heard Mr. McLaughlin testify earlier about the analysis he did with the shell casings found, the bullets, and the bullet fragments.
State prosecutors rarely bring money laundering charges since it is extremely resource intensive to investigate. Yeah, and it also sounds like they were flying under the radar for quite a while. They were quite wealthy from what I've heard. And I'm thinking it was only a matter of time until the feds started looking closely into them.
And the firearm. Did you submit all those items to him for analysis?
I did.
Did you also submit the firearm for additional type of analysis?
Yes, I did.
And what was that, sir?
For fingerprints.
Okay, where did you send it for fingerprints?
That would have been BCI.
All right. So did you send the gun first to BCI for fingerprints?
You talking about the same gun?
Yes, sir. So state 6.
No, they would have been both in Miami Valley.
Okay. Okay.
The same place. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So state 7, number 6, and you've seen all these exhibits.
I have.
And am I correct that state 6 and all the shell casings, the bullets, the bullet fragment, these are all actually the items that you've seen identified in your report, or the items that you sent to the lab for testing?
I did.
Okay. So with the firearm first, you initially sent it for, I think you said fingerprint analysis?
Yes.
Okay. And was there any success in finding fingerprints on the gun?
No.
Okay. And then after that, it was submitted for the analysis we heard about today.
Yes.
All right. Can you switch to? Let me show you what's marked as exhibit number 2F, what's been previously identified as 2F for identification. If you would, I want you to describe, please, from your investigation and your understanding of the situation here, what is the significance of this picture that shows these tire tracks through the yard at 5559 Durst Road?
Okay, so as you just heard in the interview, her explaining that she pulled up to the driveway. When she was leaving, she put the car in reverse and swung out. As she left, you can see the tracks from the far.
Are these the tracks we're talking about? Go ahead.
This end right here. She came through here and come out this way to the road.
Okay.
She stated that her car was parallel with the road. McLean, when she fired the shots, would put her driver's side window right here to the door, to where they were sitting on the porch.
And so we see here, this is the area you're speaking of, and the bullet hole is roughly there,
Yes,
and roughly there is where Mr. Johnson was seated when he was shot.
correct.
All right, Your Honor, I believe that's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Cross-examination.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Detective, thank you for being here today with us. I have just a couple of questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
That photo, if you don't mind me. Sure. Thank you. Kind of start with what's first, last is first here for us. So I believe that you were testifying that these tracks here were made by Ms. Clendenin in her Jeep, correct?
Yes,
You were not present at the time of the shooting, correct?
I'm sorry.
You were not present?
I was not.
And you would also agree with me that down here, we see a little bit of a tire tread, correct?
Yes,
At no point have we heard any testimony that you have anything matching this tire tread here to Ms. Clendenin's Jeep.
No.
You would also agree with me that in the way that we're looking at this driveway here, it's a long driveway, starts right here.
sure.
You go in and it curves this way, right?
Yes,
As I saw Ms. Clendenin on the video, she did one of these and then she pulled out and drove, correct? So if she did that, how does she make tire marks?
she
over here?
described going backwards,
Into the street.
not into the street, into the driveway.
Into the street, she backs out and pulls out because we've also heard testimony that she went to the left, correct?
That's where she would have gone after that.
If she's driving up McLean and she's going to the left, she would have had to have backed out allegedly, correct? Because if you were pulling out of the driveway, you would go right,
Yes, correct.
but she
She
went
wasn't.
left.
She did. She backed up in the driveway she described, went around and was heading the front of her car towards the road at that point, and then turned left.
You've heard absolutely no testimony from any of the witnesses that says that she created these marks here, correct?
No,
Now, we also heard some testimony from Mrs. Johnson, that being Daniel Johnson's mom, correct?
yes,
That was yesterday. And during the course of your investigation, you collected some additional rounds from the Ford Escape, correct?
yes, I did.
Isn't it true, Detective, that those were collected when you were contacted by Miss Johnson on February the 10th?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and that is over a month after the alleged shooting here.
Yes,
Now, in terms of the, let's go back to this photo here. The evidence that was collected, you would agree with me that at the time of the shooting on January the 1st, this photo was taken, correct?
yes, it was.
There's the Ford Escape right there, correct?
Correct.
And there's the Dodge that was driven by Mr. Daniel Johnson.
You're correct.
That Ford was never taken into custody by law enforcement.
No,
Isn't it true that during the course of investigation, you and your officers or any of the supporting officers would be collecting evidence that has relevant value to your case?
yes,
You and your officers knew that there were shots fired into this general area because you found Mr. Daniel Johnson shot, correct? He was found shot over
I don't
here.
believe that it was dispatched as general area. It was dispatched as fired into the house and the subject on the front porch is shot.
You knew rounds were shot, right?
Yes,
You had blocked off more than just this area right here, correct?
correct.
And in your training and experience, are shots always just limited to this one area?
No,
So you didn't think there would be any relevant evidentiary value over here, right?
no,
Is there a reason why there is tape right here on the very back of this photo?
to keep individuals from walking through there.
To keep them from walking through what could potentially be valuable crime scene evidence, correct?
Yes,
Which includes potentially everything listed over here, right?
yes,
But the Ford was never taken into custody, correct?
no,
So we have a period of at least over 1 month where that Ford
Yeah, collected at the Walmart. Her car was shot up, or the I believe it was the husband's car was shot up, and the cops just let him take the car, and one of the tires had a hole in it from being shot. And when she took it to Walmart to get the tire replaced, the Walmart technician got the bullet out of the tire, handed it to her, and then she, along with some other bullets she found in the car that the police never found a month later, she brought those to the police station, the detective.
was not, you don't know where it was.
correct.
In fact, we heard yesterday that it was actually in Mr. Jared Pennecamp's father's, not possession, but at his residence,
Yes,
correct?
correct.
In terms of the investigation, Detective, isn't it true that you utilized a number of sources, or there were a number of sources utilized, not necessarily by you, to try and figure out whether or not there was another person involved?
Yes,
Isn't it true that we heard yesterday that there was a canine used?
yes,
And there was also
I don't understand how this helps her case, even if they planted the bullet in the tire. They surely didn't plant the bullet in the guy's stomach. I mean, you impeach the investigation, I guess. You know, it's kind of all she has to work with. Her client literally confessed in the worst possible, using the worst possible words to a jury. So I guess impeach the investigation, but
2 drones.
yes.
There was also flock cameras, correct?
I don't believe we have flock cameras.
But there were flock cameras used. You know what flock cameras are,
I know
yes?
exactly what flock cameras.
And for the jury, what are flock cameras?
Flock cameras are cameras as you drive through, let's say the city of Lebanon or what have you. It's instantly taking photographs of your license.
And so the flock cameras that are used, they are they're taking photos, you said, yes?
Correct, yes.
And this is a way for law enforcement to try and, it's part of what law enforcement uses at their disposal.
Yes, to see if vehicles are in the area or what have you.
And in terms of the dispatch that was made, isn't it true that you've been here through the whole trial, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You heard the very first thing that was played here for the jury was that 911 call, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And isn't it true that they were actually looking for originally a red Jeep?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you have any knowledge of whether or not a red Jeep was looked for with flock cameras as part of this investigation?
It was.
Now, you also mentioned that Ms. Clendenin was taken to the hospital.
Correct.
So to kind of give us a little bit of a time frame, we have heard testimony that Ms. Clendenin, Zachary Howard, and Corey Hafler were out at the barrel on that being December 31st of 2024,
Before New Year's, correct.
before New Year's. We heard that they were there for a period of time, correct?
That's what was reported.
We also heard testimony from Ms. Kim Coffey that Ms. Clendenin contacted her around 1 o'clock in the morning,
That's what she reported. Yes.
and she was there at around approximately 1:30-ish.
Okay.
Correct. Then we also heard Ms. Clendenin was there with Ms. Coffey until around 5 o'clock, correct?
Correct.
Then we know that there was a report of an accident that Ms. Clendenin has been identified as having been involved in, correct?
At 5:03 a.m.
5:03 a.m. And then from there, we have Ms. Clendenin was taken into Officer Deputy Cotton's cruiser, correct?
Correct.
And then from there, she went to the EMS squad, correct?
Correct.
From there, she went to the hospital, correct?
Correct.
From the hospital, she then went to your interview room or to your
Clear
station.
Creek Police Department. Correct.
So we are well into the early morning and we have heard nothing of anyone having gone to sleep yet for any party involved here, correct?
Correct.
So there's also suspicion that Ms. Clendenin was under the influence, correct?
Correct.
There was a 2255 that was read to her
Earlier that evening, yes.
earlier at the hospital, correct?
Yes,
I believe that that was by Officer Farmer or Deputy Farmer.
I believe so, yes.
So Deputy Farmer reads her 2255 suspecting being under the influence, and we heard her test or her statement there in the audio that she had consumed alcohol, correct?
Correct.
We also heard you ask a question in her statement that when was it that she saw Corey? You heard that, correct?
Yes.
That's at the very beginning of the interview.
Okay.
And isn't it true that she says that she last saw Corey yesterday morning?
Yesterday morning, correct.
She did say yesterday morning, but she also said that they were going to go and see Christmas lights
At 6.
at 6. But she said she last saw him in the morning. Correct?
Yes.
But they were going to go see Christmas lights, correct?
Yes.
Those two things don't make any sense, correct?
Correct.
You're not going to go see Christmas lights at 6 a.m., right?
Correct.
Okay. So then she also said in there that she has shot a gun in the past at gun shows.
Yes.
That seemed a little bit strange to you?
Yes.
You've ever been to, I myself have only been to Bill Goodman's Gun and Knife Show in Sharonville, but have you ever been to any gun shows?
I have.
Usually there's some safety concerns just firing guns with a bunch of people around, right?
Yeah.
That seems a little bit off, right?
Yes.
So in terms of her statements there, she also said a couple of things that seemed a little bit strange. We heard testimony yesterday that Ms. Kim Coffey saw a firearm in Ms. Clendenin's hand, correct?
Yes.
But then we hear statements by Ms. Clendenin here that Corey gave her the gun.
Yes.
Sounded to me like if we were making some assumptions, that would have been when she went to the house right before the shooting, right?
Ask that question again.
The way that her statement played to me,
Okay.
she goes to the house. There, Corey's trying to scare them. He gives her the firearm and she shoots it. That's what that sounds like, right?
I can't say it sounds exactly like that now.
We don't have Corey here placing the firearm in her hands, right?
Sure.
We have her statement after she's been up for at least 12 hours, but close to 24, right?
Yes.
You saw the photos of the accident with the vehicle that we had put up on the screen yesterday, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
All airbags deployed.
Yes.
She was actually taken to the hospital to be evaluated.
Yes.
She happened to be released,
Correct.
but she was evaluated at the hospital.
Yes.
Isn't it true that she had sustained a closed head injury when she was there?
I was never advised of that.
So did you inquire of whether or not she had sustained a head injury?
No, I did not.
You yourself testified that you were a road patrol officer for some time during part of your career.
Yes.
You yourself were at the scene where the vehicle was at, correct? You saw the significant damage to the vehicle with your own eyes,
Yes.
and you did not inquire as to whether or not there was any kind of closed head injury.
I did not inquire because I never saw anything to show that there was any type of injury.
But you did see that there was a
I
significant...
saw the airbags,
Yes.
but I didn't see anything physical on her that would
And
show that
fun
she had
bag.
significant head injuries.
Folks that have a concussion, do they always have head injuries that are visible?
No.
Football players, we know CTE, concussion syndrome. That's something that football players sustain regularly, correct?
Correct.
We typically don't see any outward signs when a football player sustains some type of a concussion, do we?
I've never been trained in it.
When you're watching your Sunday football games, somebody gets knocked out cold. You always see blood coming from the screen or anything like that?
No.
Do you play football yourself?
I did.
At any point in time when somebody had sustained a really rough hit, do you always see blood coming from them?
Not always.
I mean, sometimes, sure, but sometimes you didn't.
Correct.
So it is possible, of course, to sustain some form of a head injury without any outward signs of it, correct?
I would agree with that.
Okay. So in terms of what we were talking about, though, we have heard this statement as it relates to the firearm, right? And how she came in possession.
Yes.
So what we hear is that she saw Corey the day before,
Okay.
correct?
Yes.
And that Corey supposedly gave her this gun, correct?
Correct.
But in terms of placing that firearm in her hands, it wouldn't make sense if Miss Coffey yesterday says she saw it, but we hear on the video that Corey gave it to her right before the shooting to scare everybody, right?
Olivia stated that.
Correct. That wouldn't make sense.
But nobody in the residence stated that they saw her at that residence at all.
So she was never at the residence, period, then?
It was related through all the interviews that they never saw Olivia enter that residence. It was only the same 7 or 8 people that was there.
That is an excellent point, Detective. So let's talk about that just very briefly. We heard yesterday, or excuse me, we heard our very first day of trial, so on Tuesday, Daniel Johnson get on the stand.
Okay.
And he made a statement that this strobe light individual,
Okay.
who we know is Daniel Schroer, right?
Sure.
This strobe light individual was out on the front porch with him.
Yes.
They were smoking a cigarette.
Yes.
And there's a statement from strobe light that said, "Oh crap, it's Olivia." I think that's generally what he said, right?
Correct.
You would agree with me that you interviewed all of the individuals at the home,
Nope.
correct?
All the individuals that were at the house.
At the house, correct.
They were
Hey,
interviewed at
Helen.
the Clear Creek Police Department.
But you interviewed them generally?
Yes.
Yes, okay. They were interviewed not at the house though, right?
Correct.
So you did interview strobe light
I did.
and you interviewed Jared Pettican.
I did.
You
Did he
interviewed
give you a
the
haircut,
2 females.
I did.
You'd agree with me that not one of them said at any point in time, "Oh crap, it's Olivia," was said.
Objection. She's asking for hearsay from people that she's not calling to testify as witnesses.
It's impeachment purposes.
Well,
Still hearsay.
if it were, if that statement were made in that manner, it'd be an excited utterance. So overruled.
You'd agree with me that not one of the individuals that you interviewed informed you that Daniel or strobe light or whomever it was ran inside and said, "Oh crap, it's Olivia."
No,
They did not, correct?
they
They,
couldn't.
they did not identify that statement, correct?
No.
Thank you. And you were asked a question by the state that you submitted the firearm for fingerprint testing, correct?
Correct.
It came back with no value, correct? You would also agree with me that we went through in some excruciating detail yesterday the items that were submitted for testing that included spent cartridges, correct?
Correct.
Now, Detective, you have worked in a number of different areas of the law in terms of moving up through the ranks. So you know how to operate a firearm, correct?
Yes.
And you have a duty pistol.
Yes.
You have personal firearms.
Yes.
When we load firearms, typically, I think I went over this with Deputy Farmer, when you're loading a magazine, you're typically loading that with your hand, right? You're holding the magazine and you're loading the rounds individually?
Correct. Or a speed load is heat.
Or a speed loader. Yes, I appreciate that clarification. So none of the cartridges or any other items that were found, were they submitted to anywhere for any fingerprint testing?
I believe just the pistol in the magazine.
So just the pistol and the magazine were sent out for the fingerprint testing?
So, yes.
Just a moment, Your Honor. And lastly, Detective, in terms of the things that were sent out for testing, isn't it true that you did not test Ms. Clendenin for any firearm residue?
I did not.
I don't believe I have anything further.
Redirect.
All right.
Well, nobody actually saw her shoot. That is something. Well, Mads, that was the entire argument for their directed verdict. Even looking at the evidence in the light most favorable to the state, nobody ever saw her do it. The judge denied it without response.
So Detective, let's get back to States 2F. When you were describing for the jury the path that you believed Ms. Clendenin took at the time of the shooting, is that based upon her statement to you?
Good question, Zach.
Yes.
Okay. And we see here there's a driveway, right?
Yes.
She said she parked in the driveway
Correct.
and it dips down.
Yes.
Does it dip down right there?
Yes.
She said she backed up,
Yes.
right? So from her statement, does it appear, am I correct, that so far she's described having her car here and backing up to here? In that area.
I believe the way she described it, she was behind the Dodge truck
Okay, so to here, and then
yes.
over. Okay.
and then backed out.
It would make some sense that she would have been in this area generally because there were bullet holes in that car.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So then you said that she described that she backed out and turned towards the road towards Earth,
Yes.
towards the end of the driveway. And she swung over here, and that's when she fired. And that's what she told you.
Yes.
Is that right?
And it was parallel to the road.
Right. And that's
If
why
she
you
had
said,
backed straight out, impossible for her to fire out the driver's side window.
correct. Because she told you specifically,
Driver's side.
she's fired from the driver's side window. And in order for the driver's side window to be towards the house, she'd have to be coming out this way.
Correct.
Now, detective,
Interesting. So an extra
I'm
4
going to play
years.
this 911 call a little bit for you again and see if I can find the right spot. Okay?
Okay.
We go back to, thank you. Now, you mentioned something about a red Jeep.
Okay.
Is that right? Remember being asked about that?
Yes.
About a flat camera,
Correct.
photo of a red Jeep. Is it common for information when a crime like this occurs and you've got a serious offense? Is it common for information that you initially receive to end up being somewhat inaccurate?
Yes.
Right? People can give the wrong information in that one call. Witnesses can get things wrong, things like that, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you heard the 911 call by Mr. Heffler 2 days ago,
Yes.
right? And in that call, you heard him reference a Jeep,
Correct.
all right? And would that be information that then would have led dispatch to provide information to other people, other officers?
Yes.
Okay. And just to be clear, in addition to saying a Jeep, he says it was wrecked and it was his ex-girlfriend who did this, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna object as a misstatement of what's in the 911 call. He can replay the portion that he's referring to.
Well, it's already been played.
Correct.
It's up to the jury to determine whether that's accurate. So there's no point replaying it.
So I'm going to replay a portion of it,
Okay.
just a portion of it. I'm going to try and find it if I can.
Did you have one way? What's that?
Oh,
Yeah, can you hear me?
oh God. They didn't give fucking mom any warning. Jesus Christ. Oh. Come on, Prost. Jesus Christ. That is so fucked up. I mean, that was his mom was in there and his grandma too. But his mom was taking care of him. Like she was there that night. She drove there. He was the one she called, or he called her. Oh. Grandma's going too. I'm guessing that woman's the victim advocate.
Now, did you see him hear him say a word in the Jeep twice? Okay. And did you hear him say the word wrecked Jeep
Yes.
the second time?
Yes.
Right.
I believe that's what I heard.
And the first time was kind of muffled,
Yes.
right? So it's possible that when he's talking about a wrecked Jeep, they could have thought he was saying red Jeep. Right.
Possible. Correct.
Now, you were asked about the fact that there were efforts made to see if there was a potentially another person involved in this.
Correct.
Right. Am I correct to say that both at the scene and in your interview, the defendant herself never claimed there was any second person involved in any of this?
You're correct.
Right. So even though there was measures taken to be thorough, she herself never claimed someone else did this. Is that right?
Correct.
Regarding the time that the defendant left Kim Coffey's house, defense counsel asked you about her statement where she said she left around 5 a.m.
Correct.
Right? But you were here yesterday for the testimony.
Correct.
And am I right that Kim Coffey actually testified that the defendant left her house at 4:45 a.m.?
Yes.
And the evidence you collected included text messages between Kim Coffey and her son, Zach.
Yes.
Is that right? And am I correct that in the investigation collecting that information, that Kim Coffey says that the defendant was leaving her home at 4:41 a.m.? Is
Yes.
that right? Now, defense counsel asked you about the discussion in the defendant's statement about meeting up with Corey in the morning and then going to Christmas lights in the afternoon.
Yes,
Do you recall that part of the statement?
yes,
And she did tell you that she initially met up with Corey in the morning. Is that right?
in the interview she did, yes.
Right, on December 31st, the morning of December 31st.
Correct,
And I think, as counsel said, she told you that their intention was at some point later at 6 p.m. to go to Christmas lights.
correct.
Did Olivia Clendenin tell you that something happened in between those two times that caused them not to go to the Christmas lights?
No.
Okay. Well, do you recall any discussion about?
They went there but didn't proceed in because they got in a huge fight. So they did get together at 6 p.m. to go there.
Okay. So she described the reason ultimately they did not go to the Christmas lights is they got into a big fight
Yes,
and then they split up from then on.
yes,
Now, there's a number of things in her statement that don't necessarily match up with what other people said. Is
okay,
that right?
yes,
For example, she says, as defense counsel pointed out, she says that she went in that house and Corey Heffler gave her the gun. But as you said, no one else said she was ever in the house, right?
correct.
Have you had the opportunity to interview people related to criminal offenses a number of times over the years?
Many, many times.
All right. Is it fair to say that people will give you some pieces of truth and some lies when they give you a statement,
Happens very often.
right? So while someone may give you a little bit of truth here, a little bit of truth there, they'll also tell you lies.
Correct.
And is it fair to say that in your experience, a lot of times people provide what I would refer to as self-serving statements?
Self-preservation, yes.
Right. And for example, people have a tendency to, even when they're acknowledging their guilt in something, they'll have a tendency to try and make themselves look better than what really happened.
Correct,
Is that right?
correct.
So for example, Ms. Clendenin would look better if she didn't go to that scene with a gun,
Correct,
right? Wouldn't make it look so premeditated if she got it from Corey at the house.
correct.
And saying that her mother-in-law went to the scene with her would do the same thing,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And so it wouldn't surprise you to find people, even though they may say, like she did, he's on life support because of my decision, she might try and make herself look better than what she actually did.
yes.
And when you were asked about head injuries and concussions, you talked about you didn't see any physical signs. Usually, in your experience as an officer and dealing with people in these circumstances, when someone has an injury like that, you may not see a cut or an immediate bruise, something like that, right?
Correct,
But you would commonly see outward signs of the fact that they have an injury, they have a concussion. They don't, for example, they don't know what day it is,
correct.
right? They don't know what time it is, things like that. Is that right?
You're right, correct.
Okay. Did you see any sign whatsoever that Olivia Clendenin had any problem at all when she gave you a statement,
I did not.
right? And we watched the statement today, right? And she
Correct.
gave you detailed information over and over and over again, like her own date of birth, her own social security number, right?
Yes,
Her mother-in-law's phone number,
yes,
her mother-in-law's address,
yes,
her own address,
yes,
and obviously you had a conversation with her.
correct.
And at any of those times you're talking to her, did she, from your experience and what you observed, did she appear to have any issue whatsoever being able to communicate with you?
Not at all.
Okay. Now, counsel asked you whether any of the people that you interviewed relayed the information about the statement, "Oh crap, it's Olivia."
Okay,
And you started to say, you said they couldn't have, and then you didn't get a chance to finish your statement. So I want to give you that opportunity.
they were inside the house with the door closed.
Okay. Now, are you generally familiar? I'm not going to ask you to give me an opinion or anything, but you're generally familiar with what gunshot residue is?
Generally familiar, yes.
Okay. Am I right that basically if I take that gun and I fire it, when the explosion happens, it causes that bullet to go out, some particles come from that gun and can attach to your hand, your clothes, things like that?
Correct.
Okay. But am I also correct that you could easily wipe that off?
Very
Right.
easily.
So in your experience, if someone fires a gun and then, for example, they wash their hands,
Correct.
would that have an impact on your ability to obtain gunshot residue?
Yes,
All right. And I think you testified earlier that after the shooting, Ms. Clendenin went to the hospital.
Correct?
She was there for a number of hours,
Yes.
and then she came to the department,
Yes.
and then you interviewed her.
Yes.
Okay. So the fact that all those things happened, did that have an impact on whether or not you decided to attempt to obtain GSR from her hands?
Yes.
Gunshot rented from her hands?
Yes.
Detective, I'm going to have you identify a couple of things quickly. Let me show you what's been marked as status exhibit number 25. Sir, if you would, we've already had this identified on more than one occasion, but stage 25, are those the two fired bullets that you obtained from Missy Johnson at the interview?
Yes, the two in the bags.
Okay. And once you got those bullets from Mr. Johnson, what did you do with them?
Submitted into evidence.
Okay. So replacing evidence and secured and then ultimately later sent for analysis.
Exactly.
Let me show you stage exhibit number 13. Is that the bullet that you obtained from the unfired round you obtained from Kim Coffey?
Yes, at 6901 Castle Bluff Drive.
And what did you do with that once you got that bullet?
Placed into the evidence as well.
Okay, and that was sent for analysis as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have no further questions, Judge.
Thank
Just
you.
very briefly, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I promise only just a couple more.
That's
Detective.
fine.
So you were asked questions about would somebody normally know the day, the time, things of that nature. You would agree with me that Ms. Clendenin wasn't actually asked those types of just general questions, correct?
She wasn't asked
She wasn't asked them,
verbally, but she was asked to write them down on a piece of paper, social security number, date of birth.
but she wasn't specifically asked, is today Thursday, Friday,
No,
Saturday,
no,
Sunday?
no.
And nowhere in her written statement does it say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
No,
right?
it does
Okay.
not.
And in terms of qualifications, we're not by any means trying to say you're a doctor here today, correct?
Correct.
We're just going, and I apologize, didn't mean to cut you off. We're just going off of your general experience.
Correct.
All right. But again, officer, you did know that she was taken to the hospital.
I did.
You didn't inquire of the officers when they brought her to you as to any other potential injuries,
I did
correct?
not.
Now, you also mentioned that in terms of statements made, oh crap, it's Olivia, no one else could have known that because they were inside of the house.
I believe when that statement was made, only Daniel, as he was sitting on the way I understand it, Daniel was on the stoop sitting. And he made a statement as a car was pulling in that Daniel heard. They would not have heard that. They were in the kitchen back in the back part of the house.
Strobe Light made a statement, and I'm going to use that name so it's easy, since we're talking about two Daniels,
Who are
right?
they calling Strobe Light? Who are you referring to when you say Strobe Light?
Daniel Schroer.
Okay.
And I'm using Strobe Light because that's the name that I think Zachary Howard or maybe even Daniel
Somebody
Johnson
called
gave to him.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. We'll go with
It's-
Strobe Light.
And I know him as Daniel Schroer. though.
Okay.
So Strobe Light and the complaining witness in this case, Daniel Johnson, are both outside at the time, correct?
Correct.
Daniel Johnson, our complaining witness,
Yes.
says he hears Strobe Light
Correct. That's
say, oh crap, it's Olivia.
what he testified to.
Correct.
Yes.
But you would agree with me that you talked to Strobe Light when you had him at the station.
Yes, I did.
You would agree with me that at no point in time did he say, oh crap, it's Olivia.
No, he did not.
No point in time did Strobe Light identify Ms. Clendenin.
No.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Thank you. Step down. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's get to closing.
Judge, at this point, we'll have to go through exhibits.
It was kind of cool. The woman who has been watching the trial and emailing me, the judge invited her back into chambers when they did jury instructions so she could watch, because they didn't want to do it like in the courtroom. I thought that was pretty cool that they still invited her in.
Heard much as far as exhibits that you're going to see. Ladies and gentlemen, discuss this. They told me when.
The first thing I would point out is, if you think about the testimony throughout the trial about what was the context of this situation, what was happening. You heard from Zach Howard, you
The defendant is a whore.
heard from his mother, and you heard from, frankly, the defendant in her statement about what is the background of what's taking place here. And the background is that for about 2 years, she had a boyfriend and a husband. And she had 2 men that she could string around and deal with how she liked, whenever she liked. She was in control. She was the one that made the decisions. She was the one that was kind of dipping in and out of these people's lives when she felt like it. And that changed.
Using that gorilla grip.
2025, or excuse me, 4. And you heard Zach Howard when he testified, and you saw the text messages that the defense attorney put up on the screen. And that's the way I can describe this. To me, it looks like kind of a puppy dog situation, right? He's, I love you, I want to be with you. I don't like when you don't talk to me. I don't like when you don't respond to me. And she responds, that says, hey, I'm at work. And then what's the next thing he does? He goes to her house and even says, hey, listen, they start having their argument. He actually tries to intervene and say, listen, let's just go out, let's have fun, let's just have this New Year's Eve. And when he wants to be with her, when he puts himself out there, what's her answer? Her answer is, nah, I'm going with my friends. So he leaves. The next thing Olivia Clendenin finds out is that he's out with Corey Heffler. They're out having fun. And frankly, I think the evidence shows they're picking on her. They're sending messages, haha, and we know you lied to us, all this stuff, right? And then what happens with her attitude earlier in the day? No, Zach, I don't want to be with you. Now that she can't be with him, it's anger and desperation. That's what you heard. She actually used the word more than one time in her statement to police.
Yeah. Tell a girl you don't want to be with her. All of a sudden, she's wants to be with you.
It was rage. Rage, she no longer had control. Rage, she couldn't basically handle these men the way that she wanted to, the way she'd been able to for so long previous to this. And you heard the testimony of Kim Coffey, that she was at her house from 1:30, and her testimony was clear. I think the testimony messages make it clear too. She left that residence at, according to Kim Coffey, 4:45 in the morning. So from roughly 1:30 to 4:45, she's with Kim Coffey. And what is happening when she's with Kim Coffey? She testified that the defendant's getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And why is that? Because she's contacting Zach over and over again. He won't answer her, and then ultimately he blocks her, right? So the fact that you have this build up to the event is, I think, one of the factors that tell you that, in fact, it's Olivia Clendenin that did commit this offense. That tells you why this happened and who did it. And she explains in her statement, and you heard through the other testimony, the nature of the situation, the context of what happened. And frankly, the rage she felt when she drove from Kim Coffey's house to Corey Heffler's house. Another thing I think that helps show you that it's the defendant that committed the offense is really just kind of the timing of everything. I know defense counsel asked a lot of questions about this, but I think it's actually pretty clear. 4:45, according to Kim Coffey, and she's backed up by a text message from her to her son, is when the defendant leaves her residence. You heard testimony from a number of people that it takes roughly 10 to 15 minutes to get from the location where Kim Coffey lived to the address on Dirk Road. And as a matter of fact, the defendant gave us in her statement, she said it took her 7 to 8 minutes. It doesn't take a long time to get there. There was a gap between 4:45 and 5:01 a.m. from the time she left Kim Coffey's house to the time the shooting took place. We know what time the dispatch occurred because we have evidence of that. And Corey Heffler says he called 20 seconds after the shooting took place. The dispatch said 5:01:47 a.m. Taking him at his word, we're talking roughly 5:01 when he made this phone call. So between 4:41 or 4:45 and 5:01, she had a gap of time to make it from Kim Coffey's house to Corey Heffler's house. Also, ladies and gentlemen, there is a substantial amount of physical evidence to this case, I think, not only supports the statement she gave the police, but supports her identity as the person that committed this crime. And part of that, going to the timing as well, you heard a number of witnesses testify about the time it takes to get from the Dirk Road address to where the crash happened. It's very, very close in time. And again, dispatch, 5:01 shooting, 5:03 she has her accident. And she's in that area near Dirk Road. When she has this accident, ultimately, the police, as you know, find a substantial amount of physical evidence regarding the shooting. They find 6 shell casings underneath the driver's side, well, underneath and around the driver's side front passenger seat in that motor vehicle. Now, if you think about it, kind of take some evidence to put together. In her statement, she said she drove up and she fired from the driver's side window, and that's where she fired the gun. You've heard more than one witness testify that generally, when a semi-automatic handgun fires around, it ejects up and to the right. So put yourself in that driver's seat. You turn, you fire. As you're firing, those are going up and to the right, which means it's hitting the top of that vehicle, the inside, and it's falling right down where the driver's seat is. That's exactly where you would expect to find all those shell casings if she's in the driver's seat shooting as she admitted she did. In addition, it's interesting, I think, that you find 2 shell casings right outside the driver's side door when the police finally find this evidence. If you think about it, common sense, usually practical thinking, right? What makes a lot of sense as to why those 2 were there is that those 2 were sitting on her lap when she stood up and left that vehicle after the accident happened. Every other shell casing is right there, right in that in the area of the driver's seat, and 2 of them fell right out, which I would argue tells you that they were sitting in her lap after she fired that gun. Now, there's been a wide range of discussion about how many shots were fired. Some people heard 1 shot, some people heard multiple shots. She says she fired twice, but we know with certainty there were 8 shots fired. It was with 8 shell casings. And you heard from the witnesses that these casings only exist after you fire the gun and the bullet's expelled, and or the bullet comes out the barrel and this is expelled from the gun. So we know for a fact it was fired 8 times, and I would submit we know for a fact that she fired 8 times because the evidence in and around her motor vehicle. Also, ladies and gentlemen, you know, the gun is found right next to where she is, where the car is. Ms. Wadsworth testified that she walked out of her home within 30 seconds of the accident. She walks out, where does she see Olivia Clendenin? Standing right at the guardrail next to the passenger side of the motor vehicle. Where's the gun found? Right there. Literally right there. If I had that gun right there and I threw it, that's where it'd be. And the magazine is right there. She's in an area with access to try and get rid of those items, which I would submit to you, that's really what happened here. That's why the gun and the magazine are where they are. Now, she says she thought, well, maybe they somehow magically flew from the car after the accident, which I guess is possible. But I would submit to you the reason why she was standing there when Pamela Wadsworth walked out is she was throwing that gun and magazine over the guardrail. Another thing that I think helps in 2 ways, and we'll talk about the other way in a second. Think about the unfired bullets. In this case, there are 3 unfired bullets. And also, please remember, all the shell casings, all the bullets, everything were the same manufacturer and the same caliber, as if they came from the same pack of bullets, right? The 2 unfired bullets in the car, and the unfired bullet in Kim Coffey's house that was found or the next day. I would submit to you, we talked about circumstantial evidence, right? You didn't see it snow at night, but it snowed, you know it snowed, right? I would submit to you that you certainly can infer from that evidence that what happened is that while the defendant was at Kim Coffey's house, getting angrier and angrier and building up into a rage, as she says, she was loading that gun there. She had bullets in the car, which is I'm sure where the bullets were. And there was a bullet inside that doorway to the bedroom, which is right next to where Kim Coffey told you she went a number of times that evening. And I would submit to you that she loaded that gun and she left there with that gun to go to Corey Heffler's house. You also heard Kim Coffey testify that she saw a gun in Olivia's car. Also, and I think this is very powerful as well, the defendant herself tells you she's the one that did this. And I know counsel has been trying to undermine her statement in some ways. You had a chance to watch it. You can watch as many times as you want to, of course. You had a chance to watch it. She acknowledged she's the one that fired. She's the one that went over there. She's the one that had the gun, and she's the one that fired those bullets. And what's interesting about all this stuff is you don't only have her admitting it. You have all of this evidence I just described that support the idea that she is the shooter. I mean, what are the odds that she drives her car that close to where the shooting happened? She has an accident. There's 8 shell casings. There's a gun. There's a magazine. And somehow she had nothing to do with it. I mean, common sense tells you that's not true. And she herself told you that's not true. She admitted that she was involved in this and that she's the one that was shooting. So I would submit to you, we have proven to you beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is the one involved in this offense. Next, we have to show that she acted, for this charge, she acted purposely. I'll talk about the mental state for all the different offenses, but here is purposely. Purposely means a person acts purposely when it's the person's specific intention to cause a certain result or engage in conduct of a certain nature. Now, you've heard the judge say he's going to give you jury instructions, and I'm giving you information from the jury instructions. So you'll read these to you and you'll have this with you, but this is the definition of purposely. It says purpose is a decision of the mind to do an act with a conscious intent to produce a specific result or engage in specific conduct. To do an act purposely means to do it intentionally and not accidentally. Purpose and intent mean the same thing. The purpose with which a person does an act is known only to that person unless she expresses it to others or indicates it by her conduct. The purpose with which a person does an act is determined from the manner in which it is done, the means or weapons used, and all the other facts and circumstances and evidence. So the first part tells you what purpose is, and the last part tells you basically, unless you can crawl inside somebody's mind, you have to determine their purpose from the facts and circumstances and evidence, including the weapon that was used. Now, what evidence have we presented to you that would prove that she acted purposely that night? I'm not going to go through it again, but I think certainly the circumstances of her relationship, her rage, everything we've talked about already, the circumstances of this night, I think certainly show that she acted purposely. If you think about the desperation that was described by Kim Coffey and by Zach Howard, when she could no longer, I would say, control Zach Howard. And then the other evidence, physical evidence we talked about a moment ago, when she left Kim Coffey's house, I think that does show you she acted purposely. As I mentioned, the unfired bullets in the car and in Kim Coffey's house, I would argue to you, tell you that she loaded that gun before she left and went directly to the Dearth Road address, to Corey Heffler's house. And I think if you have a firearm and you load that firearm and then you leave and go to someone else's residence and you drive up and you begin to shoot, I think that shows that your intention was to shoot someone. In this case, I would argue the intention was to kill someone. And as we know, she nearly did kill someone. She nearly did kill Daniel Johnson. Another thing that I think is interesting to consider is there were 8 shots fired. And we know that without doubt because of the number of casings, as I said before. You don't fire 8 shots without a purpose in doing so. Now, it's interesting to think about the way we heard testimony about her statement and how she talked about the way she drove her car and then the tire tracks in the yard and how that all comes together. We know she's parked, according to her, she backs up and there are 4 bullet holes in that car. And then she moves and starts to go through the yard there, and that's when she starts to fire at the house. And I think that, from my perspective, I would argue that those 4 first shots into that car show the rage she had. She's there. She has not been able to talk to Zach. Has not been able to have Zach communicate with her. She's not been able to have him come with her as she wanted. I would say the first thing she did is she pulls up, she fires into that car, and then she pulls around and begins to fire at the people that she sees on the porch. And
Ew.
I think that those actions, all taken together.
Imagine going to prison for a couple of decades and he did not even hit the right guy. 20 years of coping and seething. I know. It's like, holy shit. Do you think she regrets this? Like, how quickly did she regret this crap? It's so stupid. Oh, welcome, Cat and Chat.
Tell you that she acted purposely. But I think most compelling is her statement. There's a couple things she says in her statement that I think are kind of a tell. Number one, when she's speaking about with the officer, and if you remember, she starts by lying. She tells a complete lie initially. And he says, I don't believe you. And he says, somebody got shot. And what's her first reaction when you say somebody got shot? She says, like Zach or Corey? And what does that tell you? That in her mind, when she did this, her intention was to shoot and kill either Zach or Corey. That's why she said that. She didn't say who. She said, what do you mean?
Hey,
she said, oh, like Zach or Corey. And then later in the statement, another interesting point is she says, the detective says something like, well, you fired because you were angry. You shot because you were angry. And her response is, the first words she says are, the wrong person. That means there has to be a right person, right? And that tells you that her intention was to go over there and shoot and kill a particular person. And when she found out who the person actually was that got shot, she knew she shot the wrong person. I think those two statements also are very powerful in determining that she acted purposely in this case. Now, you've heard some discussion already about her statement and some things in her statement that don't comport with the evidence we have. For example, 2 shots, we have 8 shots. Her mother-in-law went with her. I don't think that happened. I think Kim Coffey testified that didn't happen. She went inside to get the gun from Corey Heffler. That definitely didn't happen. So the question is, why would someone say those things when they're giving a statement? And I would submit to you, it's exactly what we talked about with the detective, that she was giving an admission in a self-serving way. What I mean by that is she starts with, and remember, her first portion of statement was completely untrue. She completely lies about where she was, what was happening. She just went to the top of the hill, looked down, didn't go to the house, all that stuff, right? And what does the detective tell her? It says, I'm not buying your story. You're lying to me. So the next question is, now what do I say? And I would submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, using your common sense, you would realize most people that are being accused of a crime don't walk in the door and say, yes, you're right, you got me, and here's the horrible thing I did. Most often what they do is they admit what they think they have to, and then they try and make it look better for them, make it sound better for them. So the lies about the number of shots, the mother-in-law being with her, getting the gun from Corey Heffler, what would be the purpose for those lies? Why would she say those things to make herself? How would that make her look better? The answer is, it would make it seem like she wasn't planning to do this. She didn't mean to go out there and shoot somebody. She just got the gun from Corey Heffler. She went outside. They were mean to her, so she started shooting. Now I think that's what happened at all.
Welcome, cat raiders.
The purpose of those statements is to make it look like what she did was not nearly as bad as what she actually did. And those lies, the purpose of those lies, I think, tell you something. If she's trying to make herself look like she didn't act purposely, if she didn't act intentionally, what it tells you is she actually did. But that's what she's trying to cover up by making herself look better, the self-serving statement. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think all of that evidence is very strong and powerful evidence to show you she acted intentionally. There's a couple other concepts that I'll talk to you about briefly. One is transfer intent. We talked about this in voir dire. So if you intend to shoot someone and kill them, you accidentally shoot and kill someone else, you're still guilty and you still have the same purpose as if you shot the first person. Okay? That's just obviously so somebody can't shoot someone accidentally and get away with it, essentially. And then you're going to have an instruction the judge will give you, and I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. But essentially what it says is if someone uses a weapon in a manner that can cause death, then you can infer, you're not required to, but you can infer by the use of the weapon that this person's purpose is to cause death. Okay? So if someone uses a weapon in a certain way, like here, where you fire at people sitting on a porch, and you use it in a way that can cause death, and you can infer that her purpose was to in fact cause death. Now, the attempt section means, so attempted murder generally is purposely causing the death of another. Attempt means you engage in conduct that, if successful, would have resulted in purposely causing the death of another. So what she's charged with here is, the allegation is that.
All right, guys, I'm sorry. My dad just called and I may have to go in a minute because his car isn't starting. But right now, yeah, as David says, thank you, David, for helping me out here. I apologize for ignoring the cat raiders. Thank you very much, Cat. It was very generous of y'all. This woman was pissed that her husband and her boyfriend had become friends and were hanging out together, and got angry and decided to do a drive-by and fired several shots at them. Hit a completely innocent guy in the stomach in the process.
She engaged in conduct that, if she was successful, would have intentionally, purposely killed someone else. And I would submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, based on the evidence we've talked about, that we have proven to you beyond a reasonable doubt all of those elements. There's 2 counts of felonious assault. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I get to that, there are 2 firearm specifications that go along with each one of these charges. So the way it works is, if you find someone guilty of the offense, then you have to consider the firearm specifications that go along with that. And the specifications are very specific in what's required to be shown. The first says the person had on or about their person or under their control a firearm, and they displayed it, brandished it, or used it to commit the offense. And I think if you do find...
Nope, Justin, just a random guy at the house. At the party on New Year's Eve. Having a cigarette, just got his hair did. By a guy named Strobe Light, as one does at a New Year's Eve party. Enjoying a cigarette. He doesn't normally smoke, but he decided to start smoking tonight. And had half a haircut. And Coach Liv started pew-pewing all over the place and hit him once in the stomach.
Guilty of attempted murder, felonious assault, any of these charges, I think it's pretty clear that she had a firearm and she used it to commit the offense, and she displayed the firearm because she fired it out the window. The next specification 2 to each count of the indictment says the defendant purposely or knowingly caused the death of or physical harm to another, death of or physical harm to another, which here would be physical harm. And the offense was committed by discharging a firearm from a motor vehicle. So you commit an offense, part of that offense is you cause injury to someone, and you fire from a motor vehicle. That's what this specification is. And I think also I would say that's pretty straightforward and clear in this case. So we have 2 counts of felonious assault. So these 2 charges have the same name, but they have different elements. And I'm going to go through both of those. And she can, even though they're the same name, she can be convicted of both of these because they have different things that we have to prove. First, we talked about the date, the location. I talked to you about why I believe you should find that the defendant committed this offense. And then we have to show that in this case, the attempted murder is, we're required to show that she acted purposely. Felonious assault says we have to show that she acted knowingly. Knowingly is a different thing. Purposely means I intend to do a specific act. Knowingly simply means that regardless of your purpose, when you are aware that conduct will probably cause a certain result or be of a certain nature, then you acted.
All right, I'll skip to the verdict,
So if you
guys.
take a gun and you point out the driver's side window of a vehicle and you shoot it at a home where you know people are present, then you should be aware that the probable result of your action is you're going to shoot somebody. That's what.
Here, I'll put the link in chat for the final day. It goes for like another hour. Like, for Christ's sake. So they all kind of skedaddle. You can see her on the phone here for like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. They're waiting for Liv to get her ass to court. She's taking her sweet time. And just sitting there sitting. I think that was the husband that said that. No, the guy that got shot was just totally innocent, really. So finally, she gets there. Everyone's waiting. The bailiff is there checking her GPS tracker to make sure she's on her way to court. There she is. There's our girl. There comes the jury.
Court is back in session. You can be seated.
Not guilty, not guilty. Come on, not guilty.
Can you get my seating chart? We are back on the record. State of Ohio versus Olivia Clendenin. The jurors are back in the courtroom. All counsel and parties are present. Has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
I just sent the bailiff back there.
Can I approach her?
Just give her a second. She's going to be right back.
He did drink light beer. He drank Bud Light. Come on, Olive. You got this, Coach Liv. We'll be out there doing gymnastics.
Count one, we, the jury, being duly impaneled, sworn, or affirmed, finds the defendant, Olivia Marie Clendenin, guilty of attempted murder as she stands charged in count one of the indictment. I've reviewed the verdict forms, and all verdict forms are signed by all 12 members of the jury, dated 29 January 2026. Specification to count one is the jury further finds beyond reasonable doubt that the defendant did have a firearm on or about her person or under her control while committing the offense, and displayed the firearm, brandished the firearm, or used the firearm to facilitate the commission of the offense. Count one, specification B, the finding is that Olivia Clendenin did purposely and knowingly cause or attempt to cause the death of or physical harm to another, and that the offense was committed by discharging a firearm from a motor vehicle. Verdict form count two, we, the jury, find the defendant, Olivia Marie Clendenin, guilty of felonious assault as she stands charged in count two of the indictment. Furthermore, on specification to count two, specification A, the jury finds beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant did have a firearm on or about her person or under her control while committing the offense, and displayed the firearm, brandished the firearm, or used the firearm to facilitate the commission of the offense. Specification, or count two, specification B, the jury finds beyond reasonable doubt that Olivia Clendenin did purposely or knowingly cause or attempt to cause the death or physical harm to another, and that the offense was committed by discharging a firearm from a motor vehicle. Verdict form, count 3. The jury finds the defendant guilty of felonious assault as she stands charged in count 3 of the indictment on the specification. A to count 3 is that she did have a firearm on or about her person or under her control while committing the offense and displayed the firearm, brandished the firearm, or used the firearm to facilitate the commission of the offense. Count 3, specification B, the jury finds that the defendant did purposely or knowingly cause or attempt to cause the death of or physical harm to another, and that the offense was committed by discharging a firearm from a motor vehicle. Count 4, verdict form, the jury finds the defendant guilty of improperly discharging a firearm at or near a habitation. Count 4, specification A, finding that jury finds that she did have a firearm on or about her person or under her control while committing.
Yeah, so guilty across the board with the firearm enhancers. Ain't no probation coming for her. With the Ohio's pretty tough on gang violence and stuff like that. Cincinnati, I guess. So like they have a lot of charges that really stack up if you end up using a firearm and drive by. So the laws may not have been intended for her, but ooh boy, will they hit her hard. And they all stack up consecutive, like minimum. I think minimum she's looking at, Connor said, 13 to 29 years sentencing range. But hey, you know, she didn't want to take any plea deal that would involve prison time. Literally. Yeah, usually no mandatory minimums in Ohio, but firearm specs cause mandatory minimums. Usually those firearms enhancers just, they just add years. Oh, Cleveland. Yeah, okay, you're right. And I'm assuming, Connor, that a lot of those gun laws that stack and are consecutive and are really harsh are because of that kind of gang violence and such. I mean, that's why they were originally enacted, I think, in the 90s or so. I mean, I know it depends on the state, but I don't know, Mad. She thought the facts of the case was in her favor. Plea deal might have been the way to get. There was the only shot she had was maybe skating on the attempted murder. Maybe. But aggravated assault all day with a firearm all day. And even then it would have still been numerous years. There's no way she's getting a not guilty on this. So I you know, yeah, for sure. Federal ones are even harsher. Yeah. Yeah. Cause back in the 90s, they wanted to look like they were being tough on crime. So they really just enacted some strict laws that are still in the books today. I mean, and maybe they're good laws. I'm not really commenting on if they are or not, but there's just not a lot of discretion. It just mandatory time that really adds up. All right. I am heartbroken. I am crushed. My girl Liv is going away to the big girl joint. She'll be there for a little while, but I do have her most recent mugshot, guys. You ready? Look at that pretty face. She's even smiling. Aw. Livy Bear. So, Mommy and Daddy are going to federal prison for a year, February 1st, for money laundering. Yeah. Well, it'll be a little while before they're reunited, but One day, fingers crossed. Ooh, she is a little short minx. Look at that. Oh boy, guys. All right, I'm going to be ending now. It has been a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll have another trial again in a couple weeks. 2 to 3 weeks maybe. But keep an eye out and see. As of now, the Goebel versus Hopkins tar jousting case is still on for March. That is going to be epic. That civil trial, just neighbor dispute, and they are so pissed at each other. Hopkins lost round 1 and millions of dollars. And the Goebels are still going after him for round 2. So, I'll talk more about that when it gets closer. Oh, there's a pretrial soon. Sweet. Oh yeah, Johnny, they're still at it. They got the second trial for the house and everything right now. The actual dispute, not her defamation bullshit that they went through. You know, low T or high T. Well, it'll be a low T affair. It'll be a low T affair, but hopefully they won't. All right. I'm going to go, guys. It's been a lot of fun. I shall see y'all guys tomorrow. Bye.